Moen here. I'm at Busybody East in Boca Raton, Florida. I am the owner of GStandard Gym along with my amazing husband, Gabriel Moen. And we are here today to train some shoulders. And I'm going to take you through kind of a regular shoulder workout that I would do on any given week, pretty much at any given time. So let's get to work. So after tearing my shoulder in 2013, I will forever warm up my shoulders. So previously I used to start my shoulder exercises by doing handstand push-ups. I no longer do that. I now do internal, external rotation exercises to get my joints lubricated and ready to work. So, want those nice, pretty, round delts.
This is not training music.
No, it's not. This music sucks. Just so y'all know, at GStandard Gym, you don't hear this shit.
He's breaking it down though.
So I go and I ask him if he can change the music for us because I'm used to like big huge subs and some like loud profound music going. And so I asked him if he could play some like rap or something like hypey, and he was like, well, the problem with that is it's not censored. And I was like, oh, we have to worry about that. At GStandard Gym, you can play whatever the fuck you want. Ladies, thoracic spine extension, which means stick your tits up. Always. Some people aren't for dumbbell stretches before they train. I'm not opposed. You're gonna find some people who are gonna argue them. Some people are for them. I like how they feel. So I do what feels good. My body. Crust. So I'm getting set up to do a seated Smith machine shoulder press. And so when I think about my grip, I'm going to think about being able to drop my elbows straight down. And in this motion, I'm going to push my elbows up too. And I want my hand placement to be right outside of my shoulders. So typically that's about thumb's width from where the knurling starts. And then you're going to press up and overhead. In movements like this, you want to be careful not to lock or punch out your elbows, right? Your power is going to come to and through your elbows, but you don't want to lock out, more of protecting your joints. So, let's do it. like, it's that good adrenaline rush. I showed him today. Look at Brittany, she's not doing good.
I got hella pumped from these carbs.
Jacked. Alright, so we just finished with a pressing movement, and now we're going to move on to a lateral movement, and we are going to do lateral dumbbell raises, probably the most commonly done lateral raise of all time, but the most effective, most commonly used. I typically start with anywhere between 15 to 20, and it's all about volume with these for me. So I'm doing normally 5-6 sets and going heavier each time, and sometimes I'll end with a drop set depending upon how I feel, how good of a pump I'm getting, how many carbs I've eaten. All of those factors come into play. Next we're going to move on into more of a front delt movement, and we're going to superset that with the rear delt movement. So I do what I call circle front raises, and most girls want beautiful round cap shoulders. It's really hard to achieve. So with that being said, in this movement I go in an upward motion and then circle over, working that shoulder-chest connection. And a lot of women are afraid to train their chest, and I strongly don't encourage you to do that. I encourage you to train all parts of your body, because that chest to shoulder attachment is what's going to give you more fullness at the top and give you the illusion of being a little bit more broad and making your waist taper down and look a little bit smaller. So that's why I do this exercise, and that's why I do it the way that I do. And we're going to superset that with W's, and we're going to demonstrate that next too. About who's looking at my ass, or butt, I should say. So I walk my feet as far forward as I can, and I typically squeeze onto the bench with my thighs, but it's a little low. And then I plant my chest right down and build kind of a shelf, right? Because I'm trying to make myself have more of a flat back in this movement, but let my body be incredibly stabilized. And I'm going to use my elbows and pull up using hopefully only, your delts. next we're gonna move on into a superset that leads with rear delts and then attaches to front delts. So we're gonna start with face pulls on the rope. I like using flexor bands for this normally, and flexor bands, they're awesome if you can get your hands a hold of them. And if you do, message me and tell me where you got them. So typically I'm going to put my hands in a downward motion. I always let my hands and my thumbs be free, I should say. So thumbs come together, and they call these face pulls for a reason. You're going to pull and squeeze towards your face. I try to squeeze my thumbs towards my cheekbones and squeeze my rear delts. So my whole life I've been trying to get my shoulders as round as they can possibly get. And so I do a lot of circular movements. And so with this, I typically use 5 or 10 pounds. And I will hold the plates right by my side. I call these sunrise, sunset. And we're gonna sunrise right above your head, and then sunset. Power up. Slow, control, and absorb the resistance on the way down. Back up. The key is that it gets harder to go slower, and Gabriel Moen taught me that. When it gets harder, go slower. Slower. It's been a pleasure having you today. Join me for an awesome shoulder pump. Hopefully you can incorporate this workout into your routine sometime and get an awesome shoulder pump too. And if you do give it a shot, let me know how you like it on my Instagram. It's Moen00. And make sure you follow along my gym, GStandard Gym. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook too. Thanks for having me. We'll see you on the next one.